Hey, everybody. Guess what? The girls and I are here today to talk about WandaVision. We are going to be doing a full-blown, spoiler-filled episode all about the WandaVision finale. We're warning you now, this entire show is going to be spoilers. We're so pumped to talk about it, though, so hopefully you are too. We'll be right back. Hey everyone, welcome back to Comic Book Women. This is a very special episode, the first one ever where we're actually reviewing a finale. I'm Laura over at Bird City Comics. We have Lucy at Mama Comic right there. And of course, Jen over at Comic Aficionado. And today we have a special guest, Ellie over in the corner there. She is our teenage perspective, huge WandaVision fan. So we got the whole gang here today.
Yay.
Okay. Let's talk. Let's talk the finale, girls. So it picks up right from episode 8, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, episode 8. So you leave off where the witch has the thing around, where Agatha has the thing around the boys' necks.
Yep.
What do you think, Jen? Where does it go from there?
The battle scene was awesome. Sorry.
The first one, no?
The first, and I like when she threw the first volley and you saw her hand like shrivel and you're like, oh yeah, that's right.
What do you mean?
Because when
She's talking about when her hand turned black.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she had a Dumbledore moment.
Yeah.
Remember Dumbledore's hand goes black?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just picture Dragon Ball Z, like she threw one of the Kamehameha over there.
Well, it's because Agatha messed with her kids. As soon as her boys hit the ground, the mama bear came out and she's like, oh, hell no. Right, Ellie?
Mm-hmm.
If somebody messed with one of my kids, that's where it's like...
Oh, yeah. I'll go gangster mode.
Yeah. So that's how it starts, is you have the two witches just off the bat start fighting. Ellie and I were sitting there watching this. We're like, okay. And the music kind of comes in. It gets all dramatic. And then what happens with... what does she do to Agatha, Ellie?
She crushes her with like a car or something, and her feet are sticking out. It reminded me of like what you said of Wizard of Oz.
Yeah.
It was crazy. It was like, okay, this was a very short episode.
Just the two,
I guess.
She's dead.
You know, I thought she was going to get the boots and put them on, too. I don't know. I was expecting that.
I thought they're going to like
didn't happen.
Have them curl up and shrivel up underneath the car.
But that was smart of her because she did one volley, saw that it affected her, and she's like, okay, I can't throw my magic. I can throw something at her. And I was like, good job, Wanda.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, I actually didn't make that connection. You're right. I thought she just did that to be cool, but she was doing it because it was sucking her power out, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep.
So that's kind of how it kicks off, which is
I sounded like you, Jen. Yep.
Yep. So it starts off with that. The music's fantastic at this point, and then we get straight into Vision versus Vision.
Oh wait, that part. I was like, oh, because you see, Wanda sees White Vision, and she's like, Vision, and then she goes out to him, and then he like touches her face, and then you're like, and then all of a sudden, like the other one, and I was like, wait, The second that the other hand came up, I was like, because who does that? I mean, maybe people do that. But like, I've never had that done to me. So like, to me, it was like, that's aggression. And then you hear like the crunch and you're like,
I got a headache from that just by...
Ellie covered her. Ellie was like, no.
I couldn't handle that sound. I thought it was gross. I was like, nope. I kept thinking, this is going to be so awkward now that there's two of them. That's all that I was thinking the entire time. I wasn't really...
Well, that's what Agatha said. She's like, "Oh, this is awkward. You got your boyfriend and your ex-boyfriend at the same party. Now what are we gonna do?"
I love her. I love the way she talks. She's she's a comedian. She's like, she's perfect for that with those little snarky comments.
And even Elizabeth Olsen with like, you saw the hope in her eye, like in her eyes almost, like Vision, like. Like it's the real. So she like got the hopeful and like, oh man, that was good.
I know. What do you guys think it's gonna happen now? Like, I mean, Well, I guess we can a little bit more. Yeah.
Well, that part though, I have to mention this because Ellie and I, before we watched the finale, we went back and watched the trailers. So trailer 1 and trailer 2, and Ellie pointed out that in trailer 2, there's a scene where Wanda goes, "This is our home," and then Vision's like, "Well, then let's fight for it." And Ellie's like, "That hasn't occurred in any of the episodes, so that has to be in the finale." And this is where that moment happens. Vision looks at her and they're looking at each other and they're like, "Okay, shit, you got to fight Vision. I got to fight Agatha. So let's, ready, break type deal."
And even White Vision's comment to Wanda saying, "I was told you were powerful," was kind of like, oh, way to like, kind of like one of those like jab while you're like crushing her head.
Yeah. That's a lot of the things, because it's so early in the morning to watch this. I feel like I'm like, did I watch that part?
Okay, we're gonna fill in the gaps. We're gonna fill it all in. That's the whole point of these episodes. So if you guys are watching it, then we kicked off with the 2 witches fighting, and we think one witch is dead, but she comes back, and then Vision versus Vision starts. All right, so then after that part, we kind of do.
Did you guys think? Sorry.
No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
Did you guys think in that moment when it was both of them? I'm like, oh, Vision should go against Agatha, and Wanda should go against Vision.
That's what I said. I said, why didn't they switch? If she's draining her powers and it's Vision versus Wanda, Wanda would obviously destroy him. Like, that's exactly. I didn't get that. I thought that was more complicated than it needs to be.
I didn't think about that either.
Yeah. Yeah, you guys are good.
Good job.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah, it hadn't occurred to me, but I guess that would have made sense. But that would have been too easy then, right? Then it would have been like episode over.
Well, because he could have blasted her with like his the fake Mind Stone or whatever, and I'm sure she would have done like cool like magic to him. But like he also can just turn like what is it where you can go through him?
Course.
No.
Like pass through, like
it transparent. I don't know.
Like the molecules, like I
think it's course
phase shift or something.
Oh,
I know what you're talking about. When it goes all yellow.
Phasing.
Yeah.
Yes.
Phasing. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh. There you go, Anthony. He's telling us.
Thank you, Ant, in the background. Yeah, no, that's yeah. That it hadn't even occurred to me what you guys are saying, that they should have just switched partners.
True.
I would have been like, okay, Jen, you take this one because I can't handle this one. Let's switch. And then we would just
communication, guys. Come on.
So then we cut over to a scene where you see Hayward just being he's such a dick, man. I don't like Hayward. So he's sitting there talking to Jimmy, who, Ellie, what do you think of Jimmy?
I think he's the best character in the Marvel universe. He's amazing.
She thinks he's underrated. Awesome. That's one of her favorite characters.
Mm-hmm. Me too.
Yeah, I agree.
Like 3 hours trying to learn that card trick he did in Ant-Man. He made it appear.
Yeah.
So forever, my fingers hurt now, but it was worth it. Honestly.
Can you do it?
I don't have a card.
We can fix that. If they get a card for her. So they switch over to that, and Hayward's basically calling Jimmy's bluff. Jimmy's like, I'm calling in reinforcements, so you're going to get in trouble for what you're doing, blah, blah, blah. And I look over at Ellie, I'm like, is he lying or not? Because you can't really tell.
Yeah. Well, I thought he was using the phone already because it was ringing. So I thought he hit talk or something on it, and that they were listening to everything. So I didn't think that he just stole the phone. So I was like, oh, he just stole the phone. Okay. But
I know. I was wondering what is he gonna do with it? Because he didn't really show, right? Or did I miss it?
No. So all it showed was him taking the phone. But I thought since it was ringing that he was just gonna hit a button for the callback or hit a record. But then he just stole it, and I was like, "No, it's still pretty cool though," because he did the magic again. I agree with Ellie. I think Randall Park did a freaking great job, and I look forward to seeing him in the future.
Yeah, he's amazing. I love him.
Have you guys watched Fresh Off the Boat?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I mean, that was one of Ellie's favorite shows.
He was also in Veep.
In what?
In Veep with the.
Oh yes.
On HBO Max or HBO.
Yeah, it's HBO. It's the vice president.
Yeah,
thing.
He's been in a lot of things.
He's really good. Ellie's he's so underrated. So he's sitting there talking, and he's like, I'm bringing in reinforcements, and they handcuff him, but he gets out of the handcuffs with a magic rig or whatever, and he does. He ends up calling in reinforcements. Yeah, flourish. That's what he said. Flourish. So then we kind of
a little pin though.
Yeah, but it's still flourish.
I guess. Yeah.
So we kind of get a little glimpse of what's happening on the outside of Westview. But then we hop back in and you see that Agatha is on top of like one of the buildings. And this is the part where she's like, what?
Is that before or after Evan Peters?
I think that's before.
Okay.
I think it's before.
Wait.
The Evan Peters with Ralph Boner?
No, that comes later.
Okay.
So first you have on top of the building and she's talking. This is the first time you kind of hear her explaining that what the Scarlet Witch origins are. She's like, she's forged. She has no need for incantations, blah, blah, blah. Which is really freaking cool, man.
More powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme.
Which was her mom?
Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Oh, the mom is the yellow horned one. Oh, thanks, Ellie.
Okay. I thought it was funny. Have you guys seen the Doctor Strange movie?
Mm-hmm.
When I was first watching it, when he was in that room with all the forbidden books, I noticed that there was a spot missing. And then she had the book, so I'm wondering if that was the spot that was missing in the movie. Because, there's like a row of books, and there's one missing, and then that book shows up in WandaVision, they're comparing it to Doctor Strange. I'm like...
Good job. Yeah.
Good one. I didn't even think about that. Jesus. Yeah, you're right. Maybe, yeah. What do you guys think? Whoever you guys watching, we got people watching. What do you guys think? How do you guys feel?
We want to hear your comments. I had not made that connection. Jen and Ellie are on a different level, man.
Seriously.
Well, okay. Yeah. Who else? Because like I wanted to get up when it first premiered, but I'm like, no. I need sleep. But I kept like tossing and turning and being like, WandaVision. And then like finally when like my alarm went off, I was like, WandaVision. I was so excited. But like I wanted to get up when it first, but then that would have been really early.
Yeah.
You're crazy, Jan, because I was like, fuck.
Ellie, how'd you handle this morning? Were you good?
Yeah, I'm just happy. Last week, I was super excited, like you said. So I stayed up till like 1 a.m. I went to go watch it, and I realized it didn't air in my state until 3.
Yeah,
I was annoyed. I was like, I stayed up till like 1 on a school night. It's not even up. What?
That was a good catch, though, Ellie. So the Doctor Strange movie has this empty space, and that's the book that Agatha is now holding, and she's reading about the Scarlet Witch, telling her, you don't even know how powerful you are.
That was a cool page too, right? When they turn to it, you see it.
Yeah. Cool. Well, I guess we kind of have to circle this back towards at the end on one of the previous with the book.
Yeah, we'll come back to this part.
I want to, because I have a little, but yeah.
So after she tells her, what else?
Do you think that any of this is going to tie into the new Spider-Man movie? It's coming out in like December.
Aspects of it, right?
Yeah, I saw the poster online, and it actually showed like the Earth surrounded by a big like red glow, kind of like the shield. So I'm wondering if she's going to be in that movie at all.
Ooh, we'll circle back to that too then. So let's keep going though. So right now we have Agatha on top of the building. She's explaining, who the Scarlet Witch is. And then this is where we cut over to Ralph Boner.
Mm-hmm.
Evan Peters. Fake
Mojo. I wish I had the West Coast. Okay, Mojo said, I wish I still had the West Coast Avengers books from when I was a kid. I want to know where the White Vision went.
Yeah, I know.
Later.
We'll get back to we'll circle back to this. Yeah.
Mojo for sure.
There you go. So we get back in. Now we're in the room where Ralph Boner, that's his real name, is holding Monica captive. And Ellie and I were just laughing at this part. What did you guys think of that?
That's funny. That's kind of like, so there they realize, they show like, that part that he's not the brother, right? Like that it's not coming from another.
But also, she needed to find like the bill, and then she's like, "What?" And then she sees like the headshot, and I was like,
"There you have it."
Yeah.
And then I liked how she used her powers, the spectrum powers, to be like, "Well, how is she controlling you?" And then like saw the necklace.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't even catch that part.
She tore it off.
I missed a part though. Like right before we go into that room, Agatha is told. She starts like cutting the strings of Wanda's
people.
meat.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I forgot that part. So right when Agatha's like, "You're the Scarlet Witch," then she starts like cutting the strings of the meat puppets, so people start realizing where they're at. Then we go into
her face. So Wanda really did believe that she wasn't hurting them. That she was like, "Oh, you're peaceful. You're this." Like, no, we feel your pain. We have your nightmares, and you can see her being like,
"Oh crap!
Oh no! Like that's not." Like you felt it because you're like, she really doesn't know what she's doing with her powers because she thought it was one thing, but something else happened.
Yeah.
Ellie, do
Yeah.
you believe that? Do you think she didn't know?
Yeah, she definitely didn't know. Like, I thought that the whole show she was kind of going through stages of grief until she
Yeah.
finally got to acceptance. I don't think she knew she was hurting anybody though.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I don't think she did that on purpose.
No, I don't think so either.
Because it's not like Monica or because even Vision had like we see other people become out of the spell, but Wanda never did. So like she doesn't know what that they were feeling, what she was feeling.
I guess that's true. And at this point, when they all kind of start like bombarding her with their negative feelings, that's when she kind of like chokes them out.
Oh wait, but Agatha's
freaking out.
Agatha's comment about like heroes don't
Torture people.
Yeah.
But wait, before this, her son saw that was going to happen.
Oh, he was back in the house.
Yeah,
Yes,
super
when the kids
senses.
were. Yeah, I thought he was gonna stop her from that because they both got out of the room. But where they really go, they didn't. I wish they would have shown that the kids did try to stop her from doing that.
What do you guys think about the kids what do you think about the kids?
When they were disappearing.
Yeah. So Wanda, what she does when she realizes that she's torturing people and that heroes don't torture, she like opens up a rift to let people out, like leave, because she still wants to keep everything. Just people can go if they want. And then when you see the kids running towards her, like at first I knew Vision was gonna do that thing, but then when you see the kids, you're like,
oh yeah, because they're part of that world that she created.
But I thought
right, so
but
they're
like
not real.
But you didn't think. I thought because of the kids having when Wanda couldn't control them, and they had like their own powers and they would age up on their own, and she couldn't stop it. I thought that made them different.
I thought so too.
I think that they're gonna come back because like all the movies I've been seeing, the upcoming Marvel movies, all of them are saying they're gonna end it. All of them are saying this would be the last of the original team, the last of the Guardians of the Galaxy, the last of Ant-Man. And I noticed that they recast Cassie Lang, her daughter. So if you had the two kids plus Cassie plus the new Hawkeye girl plus Spider-Man, that could be a whole new lineup of Avengers. So I could definitely see them bringing him back.
Yeah,
because they're not gonna have anything else.
And then in the comics, they do a different ending happens for their first kids, and then they get reincarnated later.
Yeah.
So guys, if you're just hopping in, we're at the part of the episode now where basically Wanda's become aware that she's hurting people, so she's trying to let them escape. But unfortunately, this world of Westview that she has built is just intertwined with her family that she's built. So if you get rid of the world, you get rid of your family, and she's not quite ready at this point to make that sacrifice. So, but while she has that opening, that's when Hayward sees his opportunity and he brings in the army.
Oh, he's a douche. I mean, he's a good actor because I do not like his character. So to me, whenever I see him, like douche face.
Right, that poor guy probably gets so much hate everywhere he goes. But so the military
kind of like the guy
enters.
from Ghostbusters, and it's like he has no penis or something like that. What? On Ghostbusters, remember, like the guy that everybody hated him. Who puts
the guy in the painting?
No. The guy who puts the Ghostbusters in jail or a psychic, like.
He's
like, this man has no penis or something like that.
Man, people getting hate.
Yeah.
So at this point, though, since Wanda had like tried to, is this what made both her hands go black, Jen? It's because she was trying to lift the thing.
Well, she shot at her again.
That's what it was.
Or whenever she expels power at Agatha, and that's one thing that I did. So when we first saw this in the episode 8, and how she took all I thought that was because she was doing a spell or something. I didn't know that was like her jam, where she can just like take all the power and just suck them out. Like I didn't know that was like, yeah. Did you
really? Oh, it seemed kind of evident that their energy was being sucked out because all that was left of this
one-timer thing or something, or being on the altar, or like I didn't know it was like going to be her thing going forward. So I was like, oh crap. The second that you saw her throw the blast in the very beginning and then you saw the hand go, I was like,
okay. That made sense. Right. So you see the military comes in at this point, and because that's when Hayward was like, I have an opportunity, since she was trying to lift it. So he comes in with the military, and this is one of my favorite scenes of the episode, because she looks over at her boys and she's like, handle the military. She tells the boys, you guys take care of it.
Well, it was the Incredibles moment. we didn't train you for this, but
Oh.
Oh, you're totally right.
Okay.
And it's funny because one of them's really fast and the other one has like the weird powers. It's like
Oh, like
Violet and
the
Dash.
and then they showed her doing the force field, which kind of reminded me of like the daughter because they got pushed.
That's yes. Oh my gosh. See, this is why I like talking with you guys. I would never have thought about that, but you're totally right. So the boys kind of like use their powers on the military. And so then at this point we shift over. So the boys are taking care of the military.
Mhm.
What? What did I miss?
What'd you guys think about so Vision and Vision fight throughout this episode?
Yeah.
Right? Would you guys think of like them, like it being almost a stalemate of them like phasing and then like fighting and then flying around? Like, what'd you guys think?
What'd you think, Elle?
I thought it was funny, honestly. And at the end, when they just started like fighting each other with like logic or something, they were talking about like a ship.
Yeah,
was like-
that's what we get to next.
It was more like a debate than a fight, honestly.
Because they were at a physical, like, because they're physically the
Equal.
same inside the hex, right?
Mhm. Yeah. Yeah.
We Ellie and I kind of forgot about him. Ellie's like, oh yeah, Vision and Vision are fighting. We're like, oh, yeah.
Yeah, they didn't show that much about them too. Like I thought that since the last episode, it was like a big thing. I thought he was gonna have more of a bigger part on this.
They were fighting throughout though, and they were like,
yeah, but
it
just like well, obviously it was like more about Wanda and you know, like than them too. It was I felt like they didn't have that much screen time, I guess. Or
I agree.
more.
They could have made it a lot. They could have done something a little bit more like
They made
entertaining.
it a big deal at the end of the episode, like
Mhm.
boom, you got white vision, you know, kind of thing.
Well,
you know,
it even like it cut to like a map that had both of them on the screen, like on the map, like fighting each other. So they're literally fighting all across the city. I just thought it was a nice peppering in because you would see like the cool phasing, and then when they landed in the ground and it was like a big crater, and then that whole like what Ellie said about it being like a mind thing at the end, like that was kind of brilliant because like if you're fighting yourself and you're both physically equal, that's the only thing you have left that makes you different.
You have to reason with each other. So they end up going face to face, like what Ellie was saying, and they talk about the Ship of Theseus analogy. They're talking about, if you guys aren't familiar with that.
We're talking about how if the wood is rotting, if they keep replacing it with the ship until it's a brand new ship, is that still technically the Ship of Theseus? If it's all replaced? Because technically it's a brand new ship.
Mm-hmm.
You take out all the rot.
Mm.
And so you have the original Vision, who's no longer any of his original parts. And
Then-
you have the what?
Yeah.
They're
White.
yeah.
Okay.
The vision with no mind stone,
Yeah.
right? So like technically, are they both? And that was a brilliant analogy, like or like a teaser to like get someone else to think, because like that's the only way you're going to defeat like a computer, or right or is it computer? No, cyborg? No.
I like how also they said that they were blocking some of his memories, like and he was like helping him. He's like, they're not letting me see some, more. He's like, yeah, but you can open them. You can
to better control the weapon. That was a great line.
Yeah, I like
Wait,
that.
say it again. What was the line?
Like something about like they're blocking. The
memories.
Blocking the memories. In order to, and then that's when the white vision goes to better control the weapon or something along those lines. So it's like him, because remember he's still freaking brilliant, right?
Yeah.
So it's just him computing quickly and being like,
Do you think that he knows that Thanos like died a long time ago?
Like 5 years ago?
I don't know.
Well, technically it was like
5.5. I wish we knew the timeline.
I think it was like
how
right
many
after
days?
Endgame.
Okay.
But yeah, that's all the
I think
memories
it
he
was
has. Last thing he remembers is dying.
Oh
Never
yeah,
thought
and
of
that's true. It was like 5 years when he died. That's true. Because I'm thinking when the whole battle happened, but no, you're right. It was the beginning of the end game. Was it Endgame? No, which one was first?
The end of Infinity War.
Infinity War. It was Infinity
right.
War, right? So it was like supposedly like 5 years. You're right. I was thinking it was like right after Endgame. You're right. It's Infinity War. Wow.
To better control me.
Better
said
control
Mojo.
me. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Vision
And
gives
I
White
agree.
Vision all of his
Yeah.
memories, essentially, then, right?
Yeah.
Kind of fills in the gaps.
Moment.
I
That was
think
a moment.
so.
I think.
Do you think it?
Yeah.
Go ahead, Ellie.
So that means that Vision's probably going to come back then, right? So at least Wanda's not all alone.
Yeah,
That's what I
something.
was gonna say.
it's not the same. Yeah, like I'm curious about that too. I wonder if she sees him again, if she'll like they'll be like good friends. You know,
He probably just went to get a paint job or something. I'm not even.
You could just paint him. Why not? Like paint my right.
Fit my vision. Guys, if you're just hopping in, welcome to Comic Book Women. Make sure you give us a thumbs up and subscribe and follow us on Facebook. We are doing a spoiler episode right now, so if you're just joining, which I'm seeing some people hopping in, be forewarned. We are full blown going through the episode. We're about halfway through right now.
did you guys see the?
Oh yeah.
When he touched the center, it went from blue to yellow.
Yeah, Ellie pointed that out.
For a second.
Yeah,
Good job, Ellie.
Ellie's like, it turned yellow. I'm like, oh. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because that's when he was like helping him see everything, right? So
That was a nice moment.
Well, I mean, if you like show up and you're in a whole new place and the last thing you remember is dying, he's probably like really confused. He probably went to go regroup. He's probably like, what's happened? He lost 5 years of his life.
All he did was say, I am Vision, and then that was that. So we'll have to find out what happens with that.
So if you have those West Coast Avengers, you're still good.
Yeah.
So Mojo said, I don't think he gave him memories. If he did, he wouldn't have left. His family was there fighting for their.
He unblocked with Hayward. So there's like blocks in the past memory. So it's like so he even explained that like your hardware has more memories than like that. Like it's easier to like they're still there. They can't just be wiped away. So he unlocked him from when he became Vision until he died. And that's enough to give somebody and to give White Vision, like, oh, I'm not just someone else's weapon. Like, I'm my own.
They did have those flashbacks, remember? Like him with Wanda, and while he was dying, they did show all that stuff.
Yeah. So it wasn't of the family. It was just like catching you up to before you died. So that way it's like, hey, here's the hero, basically.
Probably doesn't even know he has kids.
Yeah, probably not.
Oh, yeah. No, probably he doesn't know that he has a family and how close he was with Wanda, I guess. Yet, maybe he's going to start seeing all that stuff and realize that he's in love with Wanda.
So it's like the Guardians of the Galaxy thing all over again. The Gamora dying, then coming back, but not having the memories. It's like...
For sure.
I hadn't even thought about that either.
Yeah.
Man, there's so much overlapping. And so at this point now, okay, so White Vision is now unblocked, so he takes off. And then you see Wanda. Ellie, this is the part that I want you to talk about. Wanda comes up like behind Agatha and like puts her hands on the side and does that little mind trick. And Ellie and I just watched last night
Age of Ultron.
Yes. It was just like that Iron Man scene. Same thing, you know, like
and that's the last time she used that power. Like before she turned hero, that was the last time that she used it, because heroes don't do that. Like, and they talk about that stuff like later, but like, yeah, so you guys, good job.
Yeah. When we were watching the movie, I realized that all the visions she gave Tony came true. Like those monster things did come back. All those characters did die. So I'm wondering if that vision with all the witches could then come true too.
Or her being like set upon by powerful beings. Yeah.
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 Interesting. That's another. Guys, if you're just hopping in, welcome to Comic Book Women. We are doing full-blown spoilers. We're going to go to a quick word from our sponsor. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Sponsor?
Quick shout out to our sponsors over at Bird City Comics. Head over to their website for an additional 15% off your entire order when you use code CBW15. Back to the show. Oh man, this is
guys.
Intense. So Jess got done talking about Agatha doing the mind thing. And this is where that creepy witch scene happens. Jen, do you know anything about that other than the fact that so she goes into that, she's trying to freak out Agatha, but then it ends up being like all the witches going.
Well, because technically, and that's one thing, like Agatha's a smart villain, right? So at first she has that moment of like, oh no, but then it's like, we're in my head. So if we're in my head, I can kind of control it. And then she also knows how her old coven would have reacted to Scarlet Witch, which is like, and that's one thing too, like saying that she's more powerful than the Sorcerer Supreme.
And then she said that she's more knowledgeable too. She has done her research, basically.
Well, she's supposed to end I missed that one part about like she's supposed to end the world, the Scarlet Witch.
That's
Yeah.
what she said, right?
Like that's the part that I need to go back and rewatch. Like there's
It
a
says
part
that in the episode?
in the episode. Agatha says the Scarlet Witch is like either supposed to end the world or be like evil or something along those lines. I can't, and that's the part that I'm like, I have to rewatch it.
Have you read like the House of M or something like that?
Yeah.
There's like one part where it's like no more mutants and everyone just dies.
Well,
So
yeah.
I wonder if they're going to introduce X-Men coming up with this.
Well, that's what I
the Avengers.
was surprised with too. Is that like, I think everyone was hoping that she would either expand the hex out or something, or some kind of explosion would happen, or something would do that would encompass the whole entire world, and then like bring the mutants in, or she would speak those words of like more mutants, or I don't know, but like that didn't happen. So it's like, so now we're like kind of left wondering, like, are they going to do that in the next couple movies, or
What's going
I was looking at the cast list. Spider-Man, one of his main characters is Doctor Strange, and one of the main characters in Doctor Strange is Wanda. So they're all probably going to tie into each other.
Oh yeah, definitely they are. But I do want to see more mutants. Definitely, hopefully they do bring them.
but how are they going to do it? You know what I mean? Because I think a lot of people thought like WandaVision was going to bring us that, and it's like, well, we saw Monica Rambeau, but that's not. I don't want to consider her because you have to be born, right? Yeah. You're born with it to become a mutant, not just like given it. Or
you Magneto, her dad, in another metal. Didn't her dad die though?
Yeah, so I think it's just going to be like different universes, like how there's like 616. There's going to be other dimensions. That's why like the Multiverse of Madness, I'm like, that'll be cool if like we can see, like, I don't know, like there's so many.
There's so many possible tie-ins.
Yeah,
on that cast list.
We're getting off topic here. We're getting on a tangent. It's so easy when you get involved in this. Okay, so we're at the part now where she's surrounded by all the witches. She officially gets her crown, which is pretty badass. It appears on her head, and it's like Ellie and I are just like, oh my gosh. So then we start seeing the Agatha versus Wanda.
And she's seeking her power.
Well, because Agatha's saying like, give it to me, like, give me all of it. Like I want this. It kind of reminded me of oh man, you guys know the newest Indiana Jones where Kate Blanchett's character is like, I want all the knowledge, give it all to me. Remember that part?
Yeah.
But she can't handle all of it. That's kind of what made me think of.
There's something else too where someone's like, give me all the power. And I can't remember what. It's like a vague memory. And it's like the person's like, you want all my power here? And then they end up exploding or something. Or like overloading.
It's never a good thing. It's always a precursor for exploding.
Yeah. Well, see, and I think when she's saying, so that's one thing. Okay, Wanda's like throwing everything, but then okay, Wanda's like super powerful. That is like she wasn't doing that. She took her power away because of the what is it called?
Runes?
Yeah,
the runes. Well, okay, so at that point when she was missing, and you would see her like they did a good job with like her skin being sunken and like
crazy
losing the power, and I was like. And then when she would miss, I'm like, why is she missing? Is she missing because she's just like a bad shot? Like it's a stormtrooper in Star Wars? Or like what's going on here? And then when you find out that it was just her setting up the runes, then I was like.
So guys, they're fighting in the sky at this point, and we think the viewer's supposed to believe that Wanda's throwing all of her power and just giving it to Agatha because Agatha's like begging for it. But in reality, she's missing her shots to set up runes surrounding them. And that brings us back to episode 8 where she told her, only the witch that casts the runes can use their power in that space.
Well, Agatha talked too much, basically. She
really did.
Right? Like, she kind of just gave her, like, here's a magic 101. This is how you do this. This is how you do this. And you're like... At first, I was like, why is she trying to, like, train her? But I think she was just, like, gloating, like, you're so stupid. Like, all these things. And then Wanda's like...
Thanks for the lesson.
Okay, cool.
Taking notes.
That battle was the biggest in a reverse card in like history. I'm not even.
Somebody said Bruce's father wanted all of Hulk's power.
Why?
So that would be another good example of somebody trying to soak up something and it just ending up biting them in the ass, right? Let's see. I don't need you to tell me who I am. Oh, that's a good scene too. Ellie, do you remember that part in the episode?
Which one?
Yeah. She said, you have to tell me who I am, and then she like blasted her. It was cool. It was after she got her crown and her new costume and they were in the air.
That costume, right?
I love it.
That costume was awesome.
I want it.
You guys think that's going to be the next Halloween costume?
Oh, for
for
sure.
sure.
It's gonna
I
be
want it
Scarlet
already.
Witch and Cruella. Not even.
Well, all you need is like the tiara type thing on her head with like a nice like cool red outfit, and that would just be enough to like cosplay as her, right?
Somebody make me that outfit because I'm not creative enough.
Somebody out there. So she kind of like, this is the point where she tells her, you don't need to tell me who I am. I know who I am. And she just sucks the crap out of Agatha, just sucks up all of her power. You can see Agatha just being drained.
Mhm.
And then, like Ellie was saying, this is when she's like, boom. She has an Elsa moment and she just goes, boom. She gets her.
Let it go.
She lets it go and she gets her costume. And Ellie and I were like, yes, we've been waiting all season for this costume. And it looks really, really cool.
Was that scene the scene that she saw when she first touched the Mind Stone?
I don't know.
Oh,
touches it, and
that's
it's like that, like-
true. Yeah, you're right. That she's floating in the air with all that stuff
With
around her. Mm-hmm.
I didn't catch
Yeah.
that.
You're right. Yep. I
Very
did
good.
think about that. When I did thought about that, I was like, hey, was that supposed to be that part? Like she saw in the future. Good one. Yeah.
All right. So Ellie, what happens after Wanda sucks up all of Agatha's power? She just kind of gently lowers her to the ground, all defeated. What does Wanda do to her?
She gives her the role that she wanted. She makes her the nosy neighbor. It was like I actually thought that was sad. I wanted her to like go to the Avengers compound, keep her in there. She has wiped her memory. She gave her a piece of her own punishment. You know.
Yeah, but that's brilliant. Like because Agatha's Agatha's not drained completely. She still has, because you saw a little bit pull from her, like the purple. Like
Yeah.
she still knows like incantations and knows her, her stuff. Like that's like it is a cruel. It was a cruel like thing to do, but it's like brilliant because then she even was like, "Oh, you'll need me," and she's like, "Oh, I know where to find you," right? And you're like, "Oh, what?"
Do you think Agatha's gonna be able to get herself out of bad? Since
She's pretty powerful
not
though.
powerful
Scarlet.
yeah.
It's just good to that they didn't kill her off, so I'm super happy.
Yeah.
Like Catherine Hahn, like fantastic job. Like I don't like villains, but I liked Agatha.
I love her as a villain. I want to dress up like her too. I love the whole purple magic. Purple is my favorite color, so it's like I love all that purple with the purple magic.
We should put her with Loki. They can be like a cute little new couple. Or
yeah, because they're both like jokesters. With
yeah, I kind of
evilness.
like both their personalities, but I agree with Ellie. Like it's like okay, it's a little sad, but they put her in this mental prison now where she can't escape. But then again, she's also very accessible if we ever need her, which kind of
Did you guys see the watery eyes?
she was crying.
She wasn't crying.
But she was like,
as she's acting as the character. Because remember, people's eyes, so her eyes got really watery. Like, but she can't, right? Kind of like how you saw that one girl who was like stuck in that loop, and how you saw like her cry. But Agatha, when they kind of like zoomed in on her face, you can see her eyes got like super watery. Like she's now trapped inside the.
I was expecting to see a tear with a happy face, but I did
watery.
like that. Yeah, like
Oh,
like,
Lucy, that would have
help
been
me.
cool.
Yeah.
That would have been like the nice finishing touch to have a tear come down her face.
Yeah, with a happy face. Like,
Ellie, what were you saying?
What?
What were you saying?
I was just wondering how they're going to get everyone that was in Westview to keep quiet about this.
Oh, they're not. This is where like Scarlet becomes like people are gonna like kind of cast her towards the villain like role.
Yeah, but the FBI probably was like, okay, we don't really want it to get out that there's a major supervillain around. It's like crazy.
Oh, I hadn't even thought about containment issues, but yeah, they're gonna have to figure out something to do with them. All right, so then where are we at? So we put Agatha back into her role, Ellie said, and then this is where the episode. I mean, it's coming to a close, and it just gets so emotional.
Darcy.
Oh yeah, she showed up out of nowhere.
I forgot about Darcy. Damn it! You fill us in, Jen.
As Hayward was gonna get away, Darcy rams in oh man, what was her line? Enjoy prison or
Yeah.
prison. She's freaking amazing. I love her. That's another word that I love. I just love her like as an actor that I'm just so happy they brought her back, and I'm so happy that she was in this. And I wish they would have given her a little more time on this, episode, but they didn't. I understand why, but I just freaking love her. We didn't see what happened to her. Like, did she stay in? Well,
No, what did Ellie?
Teacher.
What did you say when we were
I was
watching
just
it?
wondering how long was she in traffic for? Like, Jesus, she didn't show up till the end of the episode.
Almost the whole entire time.
Like if she was driving the whole time.
She was just stuck at that light this entire episode. Then she comes in at the end. Yeah, Ellie said the same thing.
True.
All right, so we start to kind of like when the episode comes to a close, like Vision says, like you have to make everything, you have to put everything right. She came in so clutch. Exactly, literally. We have to make everything right, but this is the first time that you see Wanda kind of accept that she's going to have to sacrifice her family in order to put everything back.
He even made that line of like tripping right, but like not for us. And you're like, wait, what?
But I know. You know what? I thought she was gonna just like let everything go, but just keep that. Yeah, the house.
I thought so too.
Bubble.
I hope so. That's what I was hoping.
And then, like, that was depressing. That was just sad when she was talking about what Vision was to her. It's like, that's so sad.
And
Then
being
it's
a
just
slice of the Mind Stone. Oh,
that's like the love story. Like she's like, I'm part of the Mind Stone, and you part of me. Oh, like
Yeah, she says you're my sadness, you're my hope, but most importantly, you're my love. And it was such an emotional moment. But Ellie and I were both like, wait. So she tucks the boys in and just kind of walks out, knowing that she's not going to see them again.
well, that's what she was saying goodbye, basically, saying thank you for letting me be your parent, and like even Vision as he like left, his voice sounded like he's getting like a little bit choked up a little bit, or maybe that's just
he
me.
had a tear. I'm like, oh, that is so like sad with his little tear coming out.
Did you guys cry?
No, but I felt it.
I was just thinking, why did you not just put it around the house? All this could have been avoided.
But then have them live their whole entire lives in a house, like.
I mean, like
That'd be really hard for two kids, and like even Vision, like they would be happy for maybe like it's kind of like what like being in quarantine, like,
yeah.
like you're fine for a while, but then you want to go out and like. But you're right. She probably could have like made like a cool like how that Agatha made that cool necklace.
Yeah,
and like
I mean, like I've been inside for like a year and I'm still okay. I'm just like,
Ellie. Well, so she kind of, if you're just joining us, Park, at the very end of the episode ends with her and her family going back to their house. They tuck their boys in, they say goodbye. She says goodbye to Vision, and he says, so long, darling. And then just poof, he's gone. And then everything just goes back. Everything goes back to where it all started. She's back in her original outfit, leaning on that foundation of that empty plot, where the house used to be. It all circles back.
I was in tears. Like, it wasn't just one tear. It was like 2 tears. It was like what I mean, I wasn't like crying. It just was like 2 tears.
oh
No, I was like trying to hurry up and finish just so I can come.
You're like, come on, be over.
So I'm gonna have to watch it again later with Sam, and actually probably I don't know, watch all the little things probably that I missed, but yeah, that was such a sad. It did. I just felt for her, like.
Bill's saying White Vision is the new Vision now, which is like, kind of what we're all talking. We think that's going to be where this is heading. But, oh man, what was I saying? So guys, like at the very beginning, before we did this show, we did a non-spoiler one. And Ellie and Jen were both talking about how you can walk away from this episode and be like, okay, it had some cool fight scenes, but it really wasn't like this huge, wow, mind-blowing thing. But it wasn't meant to be. Like Jen and Ellie were saying, this is
beginning.
What, Jen?
It's not even a high budget show. It's just a low. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
It's not even a high budget thing. It's a low budget thing. It's like it wasn't gonna be like a giant movie or anything. It was just gonna like tie loose ends. So that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, it was like we got more because the thing is like it was really hard to watch all the movies and then to see a couple of the characters take a backseat, right? So this really fleshed out Vision and Wanda. Like I think someone said or posted that she had like less than between all the movies, like less than 20 minutes or something of like total screen time. I think
really,
yeah. Like I gotta find it because like I don't know the exact time, but someone posted it. Like someone sat there and like clocked it and was like,
oh wow,
yeah, she really didn't have that much screen time, and like so you got to learn a ton about Wanda. She got like it was just a good bridge and a good character development. And I was just really grateful for something. Like, I didn't even know I wanted this. And then I got it and I was super happy. Like I know people complain about 1 through 3, the first 3 episodes, but that was like a slow burn unfurling. And you're like, it was a mystery. And that was like so fun to like,
I loved it. Yeah.
Speculate. Like, yeah, that was so fun. Cause you're like, oh man, like what's going to happen next? Like, what is this?
It was fucking brilliant. Have you ever seen a show do that before, where you have like no idea what's like what the premise is yet, and you're sitting there like,
it's been a long time since they made something like this, and then they got a lot of people again that nostalgia, like watching shows like that when you were younger, waiting like for Power Rangers or something like that. When you were like, oh my god, I can't wait for the next episode. My husband Sam, like he is not that type of person who sits around really like and catches shows, and this made him get excited for another show again, and wait for the next Friday to watch something. And I think that's something that WandaVision gave all of us again. And like you guys were saying, I think it's just like more of like character developing, and it's just gonna be, even with the other shows, gonna be something slow thing, like for something bigger coming up.
Well, go ahead, Elle.
I was just wondering, are we going to talk about the extra credit scenes at all?
Yes. Okay, so let's go to the first one. The first extra credit scene, Ellie. What happened in that one?
That scroll dude showed up. The shapeshifter guy. He showed up for Monica and said that someone was waiting for her. Then he pointed up. So I'm thinking she's going to go into space now. Maybe the next Captain Marvel movie?
Yeah.
She was the little girl that chose Captain Marvel's colors.
Yeah.
On her suit?
Yeah.
Something like maybe in the next movie she'll be a big part of that.
Which is a huge reveal for an end credit. It's like, holy crap, like that's a big moment.
I thought she was gonna meet with Nick Fury. I thought, so maybe
who's up there, right?
Because wasn't he in space?
He was in like Bahamas or something.
Where was he at? I don't know.
It zoomed out and he was on that spaceship.
Yeah. So
either Nick Fury or Captain Marvel is what we're thinking?
Or maybe together.
Yeah.
Maybe they're together.
Go ahead.
Then the other one, she was in her little shack. My dad just said that was a lot like Thanos. When he like isolated himself next to like the water in the middle of nowhere.
Oh, that's the last end credit. The next end credit.
Mm-hmm.
But like real quick, it was cool to see Agent Woo, because now we know that he's not going anywhere, right?
Yeah.
In that big credit scene. And then like, yeah, you're right. The scrolls and like, that was a cool, like, that's why I texted you guys. I'm like, you need to like, because the thing is like what the first 4 or 5 episodes, there was no mid credit, no scene at all. It was done. And you're like, oh, that's it. And then all of a sudden they did the mid credit scene and you're like, oh yeah, mid credit scene. And then this is the first one that had the end credit scene. And then
So Elliot, what was the next scene? So the first credit scene shows the scroll, so that kind of gives us some indication. Oh, Anthony's doing it.
That's awesome. What?
Ellie, can you do it? Ellie, can you do it for us?
I cannot. I have tried for years. But
do it again, Anthony. I want to see again.
Do it again, Aunt. Oh my gosh.
It always gets stuck on my fingers.
All right, nice.
Magic trick.
Oh, hey.
That's awesome.
Oh my god, that's cool.
Yeah, Ellie was in her room the other day, like practicing forever. I'm like, what are you doing? She's like, Dad makes it look so easy. So the first credit scene shows the scroll. Team Nerd Herd said possible scroll war, maybe. Also like the Incredible Hulk.
Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Roll magical.
Magical. The little.
Yeah, Anthony's a wizard. So the very end screen, this is what we were talking about when you see Wanda isolated. She's out like in the middle of the forest, somewhere like by a lake or something, mountains, somewhere secluded.
And this is where I wanted to say, like, it's the whole Doctor Strange thing, where she's pouring herself a coffee, but then she's also in the other room, like practicing all the spells and stuff like that.
She still has the Darkhold, and she's reading that.
Yeah.
That's not good.
That's bad, right?
I thought that's what I took from it.
I think she's just learning what she is.
Like at first when they showed that cool scene, it was like, oh, she has like that witch's hut, but I was like, okay. And then you're like, oh, she's just like being by herself and alone and like working through some stuff, and you're like, okay, that's kind of nice of her. She's tranquil,
Like Wolverine.
right? And
Yeah,
then
that's what
when you go through the house, and then you look into the bed, and you look, and it just pans to the right, and you see her in her cool like new outfit, but she's like studying the Darkhold, and you're just like,
she's in the spirit realm.
It's not good. That book is not. It's not a good book. I think that's what Agatha stole. Either the Coven took that from the Doctor Strange, that temple, and then Agatha still has it. But I think that's how she got in trouble in the first place. Was like, hey, this is above your station. It's dark. It's dark magic, and she took it. And she's like, I mean, I got scared a little bit because I was like, no, Wanda, like, stay good.
Well,
Do we see that book?
She's just studying. I think she's just studying the book. You know,
I hope so. It's not like.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Is there anywhere else in the MCU that we see that book appear? Like, does anybody else use it at any point?
I don't think so.
Ellie, can you think of anything? Wait, you're muted, Elle. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. For what?
That book, that evil book. Do we see that anywhere else?
No, like I said, I think it was the one from Doctor Strange.
Yeah.
But I don't get why she was hearing her kids scream, though.
So,
because the book's bad, Jed's saying. So it's like feeding on her. I think inner demons, maybe.
It reminded me a little bit. Either someone's trying to mess with her to get her to do more stuff, like Mephisto, or I felt like it's her breaking the multiverse, and like kind of like what happened with Kingpin and the Spider-Verse movie, where he got to see his other he was looking for Vanessa and his kid.
Maybe.
Like, so it could be like a couple different things. But yeah, you're right. When I heard that voice, I was like,
I actually forgot that part. The kids screaming.
Yeah. Maybe. Since that was like the cabin where that they had the Stark's memorial. No, that's a different cabin.
Yeah,
it kind of looks like it though.
Yeah. It looks similar, but there's no mountains in the background.
Nicer. Yeah, and the Stark one was a lot nicer. This one is not as nice.
Well,
and maybe I think the cabin was on a different planet. No, I don't think so. I think it's still.
Yeah.
No, I meant the cabin with the Thanos.
It's
that one was
similar. Yeah, same cabin as Thanos. No, I don't think
Thanos had a more of like a log cabin type looking. Hers was more like it kind of looked like Hansel and Gretel, like that kind of like interesting, like the fencing, the patio porch had that cool, like it was darker and like.
Hansel and Gretel, that's an interesting twisted tie. That fairy tale's freaking terrifying, man. The Darkhold was an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
And Runaways. But yes, Mojo, good job.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, this is one of those episodes where the finale was awesome, but there was a lot given away in the end credits. So make sure you watch to the very end. Yeah, a lot of new openings.
Hey, real quick.
Yeah. Oh. Were you saying something, Ellie?
I was thinking I was very sad the last episode because I noticed that instead of labeled season finale, it was labeled series finale. So I was like, are we not going to get a season 2?
Does that mean anything?
It said series finale, not season finale.
It was always supposed to be, well, from what we saw from like the MCU drops, it was always supposed to be like, again, it's the bridge that connects you to the next thing, right? So this is supposed to connect to the next thing. But I think if people like hashtag the crap out of it, and like or hashtag like what free Agatha or whatever, right? I think that they can't not hear that, and they might, but I don't think it's ever going to be like a WandaVision season 2. It would be like it'd be something else, but with Wanda possibly in it with Agatha, or like
a movie,
or like a possible Disney Plus show. I just think it just depends what they have planned. But real quick, so Hayward is in jail. Who in the MCU do you think might like Hayward? General Ross. Remember General Ross that like kind of hated the Avengers for kind of going AWOL and like wants to control all the stuff. Like I definitely like had like General Ross like feels. Hayward.
Okay, never mind. I remember him. Was he in that one? Wait, was he in what's it called? Civil War? I can't remember.
He was in Civil War, and then he was in one of the prior Hulks. I don't know if it's the same actor though.
And wait, what do you think's gonna happen there?
So I just think that like General Ross is gonna like either free Hayward or there's gonna be a tie for something later because he's not dead. Whenever they don't kill a character off, it's like it leaves a lot of room for like future stuff.
That's interesting speculation too. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Ross, there you go. All right. Do you guys have anything you want to add?
I'm just thinking about how many characters that died permanently in Infinity War they managed to bring back. Gamora, Vision, and Loki. Like, I think Tony Stark's gonna appear next. I'm not even kidding. I'm not like no one's dead anymore.
I would be fine with that. I would be fine with it.
Okay,
Yeah.
wait, real quick. So I really liked episode. Well, I liked all of them, but like episode 4 through, I liked a lot. But in episode 4, you see, I believe that's the episode where you see Monica wake up from being snapped. Right? That's that crazy, like super like dramatic scene. And then as I was watching it, I was like, oh, I didn't even think about that. Like if you go back and watch Infinity War from the snap and you see like cars crashing and you see planes, like helicopters crashing into buildings. So does that mean that those people get snapped from when they got like, so if you're on an airplane or you're on a cruise or you're in a car or train or camping, you are in your bed, you get snapped back. Like, so she was in her in that hospital room, got snapped back. Where's my mom? So like people are popping up everywhere from when the snap happened. I'm like jonesing. Do you guys ever watch The Walking Dead had those like online shorts about like the bicycle zombie? So you kind of like see like a small story of like how she became a zombie. I'm really hoping that we see like webisodes or like mini shorts of like
people popping back up.
I was on an airplane. All these people are falling. Maybe you'll have other superheroes come and like save them, or maybe like just a sword or shield is now trying to catch people because it's literally like snap back. How much time do you have if you're in an airplane before you hit the ground? Like so if you're lucky, you're on the ground sleeping like Monica, but or like in a chair. But if you're like in the air or you're doing something like. Right?
Yeah, so we just said it's gonna get to see raining people. Yeah. People are like, blah, blah.
That's crazy. Yeah,
I hadn't even thought about that, Jen.
Yeah.
But that's why I was so emotional watching episode 4 because I was like, this is like we're seeing the snapping, like because in Endgame, like they do the snap and you hear birds and it's like nice and like tranquil. But
right,
Monica, she was just. It happened to be that she was sleeping and she wakes up and then she sees her hands and she's like, what the heck is this? And then as she's in the people are like popping in and then they're just like confused, right? That's like, where's my family? What's going on? But like they're lucky they're on the ground. Even like if you're in a building that got demolished, because it's been 5 years.
Right? It's a huge opportunity to kind of just branch out and have a whole bunch of different stories that kind of
So just do shorts. Just do shorts of like different scenarios and then like you can easily bring in like smaller level heroes, maybe Netflix heroes. Well, not Netflix. What would be Daredevil? They're not Netflix heroes. They're just, we saw them on Netflix. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Go ahead, Ellie. Sorry.
What if you were pregnant during the snap?
Oh.
You have like a 5-year thing. What?
Ah.
But actually, though. Like,
yeah, really.
I'm not even joking. Like, what?
What would happen? I don't know. I mean,
what if you're using the bathroom? You pop into someone else's house and you're like, oh, you're in the shower.
Like,
that's true.
What if, I don't get that, honestly.
That's
like, what if,
crazy. But okay, so what happened to the White Vision? Where'd he go? Because they didn't show nothing.
We'll find out. Yeah. He's still around. Like I really like that they didn't like kill off. Like I kind of didn't like when they killed off characters in the past because in the comics they don't die. Wait, what?
Yeah.
What are you laughing at, Ellie? Anthony, you're so distracting.
He said that he probably went to happy hour.
He's going and having a beer. He's like, I'm done.
I wonder if he went to Wakanda. Because that's the last place he was. So he's like went over there and showed up.
That's interesting too.
Trying to figure out everything.
Yeah. That makes sense. So yeah, like would you guys want to see like
you don't want to pay child support?
Wait. He didn't want to pay child support, so he left. He's like, nah, I don't have kids, man. I'm gone.
Would you guys want to see that or no? Like webisode shorts of like
that would be fun. Yeah.
You could bring like low level heroes like saving people and like being there to deal with like repercussions.
Yeah. Oh, I think that would be really cool. I think it would be something people
Real quick, guys, give us thumbs up, please, on the video. Give us a thumbs up.
If you're liking it, give it a thumbs up. Make sure you're subscribing. Follow The Comic Book Women on Facebook and Instagram. Our Instagram posts are pretty cool. We've been doing a comic of the day. So if there's stuff that you're not sure if you want to read yet, we have reviews that we put up there. So make sure you tune in. I think we're wrapping this up for today. So thank you guys so much for joining us for our first ever season finale review. This was an absolute blast. We had a really good time. So anything else, girls?
Look forward to fucking Winter Soldier, because that looks like
that'll be our next one.
Like action the whole entire time almost. That's what it looks like, right? Like just a fun ride.
Yeah, so we'll do some more of these. All right, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. We will see you guys Tuesday night. We will have the artists. Lucy, why don't you tell them what we have on Tuesday?
Oh my God, I'm so excited for this. Trish, one of the creators of Stray Dogs. She's gonna be joining us, so I'm excited for that.
Stray Dogs is all I'm hearing about lately. It's so popular. It's one of these big indie books that's just taking off. So if you're a Stray Dogs fan, join Comic Book Women this Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're gonna be hanging out with one of the creators. Have a good day, guys.